Hi, I'm James Green. I run the marketing team at DLT Ledgers. We are digitising trade and supply chains using blockchain. I've been asked what is, or how is blockchain changing? So I will ignore the cryptocurrency side of blockchain and go straight into enterprise blockchain. And I'll hit you straight away with the fact that 3 years ago, only about 25% of organisations around the world were doing anything with blockchain. In 3 years' time, that's expected to be 85% of organisations operational with at least one blockchain platform. That's quite a significant change. And if you look at the research, which is very easily available, there's a lot of evidence to support the fact that CEOs and leaders around the world are investing cash and resources into blockchain and see it no longer as a technology experiment, but as an agent of change and intrinsic to the future plans of the company and the organisation. This is happening across all different industries. You can name payments as an obvious one, but also healthcare and education. But here at DLT Ledgers, we're focused on trade and supply chain. We're looking at tracking transactions, contracts, goods, and documents throughout any transaction within trade and the supply chain, and that incorporates anything like cross-border trade, specifically in commodities, but also tracing the provenance and sustainability of the underlying goods between multiple unconnected parties and different tiers of supplier. So DLT Ledgers was founded in 2017, right when cryptocurrencies were going through the roof and every man and his dog was launching a new type of token. The founders of DLT Ledgers did not want to do that. They resisted the temptation to raise millions of dollars, which was happening every day back then. But instead they were focused on the enterprise applications of the underlying technology and how could blockchain help companies to collaborate and remove friction from some of the processes that they were struggling with. And that means that we've developed 16 different modules within the platform, all of which are focused on helping organizations who are involved in global trade, taking the perspective of everyone who's involved in a transaction. So that could be a buyer, a seller, a bank, a carrier, and understanding the problems from their point of view and how those problems can be solved. So, for example, some of the modules that we've developed are financial institution integration, documents storage and transfer, digitizing contracts, API integrations, supplier onboarding, and so on. The other area that probably makes us different is the fact that our platform is production, it's live. We've done transactions between, I think, 28 different countries now across 4 continents, and we've supported about $3 billion worth of transactions. So the question is, what do I believe is next in the world of blockchain? And I'm going to answer that in 3 parts. So the first part is the role of the currency, and I think digital currencies are almost certainly going to replace fiat currencies. And that is going to have very deep implications for the world's financial and monetary policy, the role of the central bank, the fact that money will become programmable rather than a piece of paper. And the implications of that are wide-ranging, but it's hard to imagine that in 20 years' time that we're still using paper money. So that's the first one. The second area is where there is a transaction of some kind of asset between different parties. Currently, transactions between parties invariably involve some kind of third-party authentication. It might be a lawyer or a bank or some kind of third party who is making sure that that transaction is legitimate. And obviously, for those that know blockchain, that is the secret sauce of blockchain, is that it enables authentic or authenticated transactions between parties without needing trust and without needing a third party. So in my vision of the future, I think that blockchain is probably going to be the underlying technology supporting all of those types of transactions. And that is obviously extremely wide-ranging. So it could be property, it could be the way that you buy your sandwich at lunchtime, your children's school fees, etc., etc., etc. So then the third part of this trifecta is interoperability. So currently we have a blockchain, many different types of blockchain doing many different things. But the whole point of blockchain is that it should enable different parties to transact. And to survive, these platforms need to be able to interoperate. So party one, who is on XYZ blockchain over here, he wants to transact with party two, and she's on blockchain at number 2 over here. Currently, those blockchains don't speak to each other, so they need to be on the same platform to transact. With interoperability, which hasn't been solved yet, that will become possible. And so with interoperability, you have a world where every transaction between every person that involves some kind of asset exchange is happening on blockchain. And that's why many people believe that blockchain is the next internet.